Good morning, everybody. It's Suzy Smart. I can't get my Suzy Smart picture to come up this morning. Apparently, she wants to stay in bed for a while. I don't know where she's at. Probably still in shock over yesterday's Coin Crew fundraising auction. I just don't know where that girl's hiding. She is fast asleep today. I bet I can't even get her up here in the little bitty corner. I don't know where she's hiding. That makes me upset. I can't find my Suzy Smart girl. She's important. Muy importante, as some of my friends might say. But I can't find her this morning. She's hiding. Ow. Actually, my whole body's hiding. Trying to, anyway. So we'll just stick this funky looking character under there for now. Don't know where Suzy Smart is a hiding. She's somewhere. Let me see if I can look one more place for her. Don't seem to see her hiding there. Oh well. Does not look like we're going to find little Miss Suzy Smart this. Well, I found my way back. I threw myself right out of my channel. Not the first time in the world that has happened, huh? So, good morning, Lucky James Eller. How you doing today? I'm not going to do a super duper long show. I'm going to wait till about 7:15 and read my articles, and then I've got to go all the way to Roanoke, Virginia to the neurologist office. And that's about 300 miles round trip, I believe, which is why what happened yesterday, because that having to make that kind of a trip every time I need to see the specialist is just not, it it just can't happen, because I have usually 2 or 3 appointments a week now, and well, I'm doing well enough that I'm up. um, I'm pretty tired from that Coin Crew fundraiser. That was absolutely amazing. I kind of dozed through parts of it, but it went on for hours, and they raised a pile of money to help me in order for me to get a excuse me, I'm still having my coffee. In order for me to get back to Michigan It's going to require a motorhome, and they have a lady that cut the price way down on one, but I still didn't have the money for it. So now I think we have enough money to get it. I don't have a final total, but I was kind of adding things up as it went along, and hopefully I have the money for it. And then it's going to take a little bit more to make some repairs. It's not mechanical repairs, it's uh, in the cabin repairs, because it's going to have to accommodate both myself and the young kitty man. And I'm pretty much getting rid of a lot of what I own. I will be towing my car. I think I have a driver. I've kind of been working on a deal with a friend. Well, I think it is, James. I have not heard anything to the otherwise. I'm too totally tied up today to get into it, and Tuesday I have a divorce hearing. Like, I need that on top of everything else. But the lady who owns the motorhome, I actually play online games with her, so it's not like she has dropped off the planet or something. I can reach her. I just don't know if I can still get that motorhome. However, if I can't, I can start looking for a different one. We at least now have, a viable amount of cash. I have a good friend here who is a mechanic and is very reasonable. So when things go on the road, they will go on the road in decent running condition. I'm not going to be out there, yeah, like I was years ago. When my mom died, I ended up living in a 35-year-old motorhome for 2 years, and really I didn't have any problems with it mechanically. I ended up getting rid of it because of issues with the water tanks and that kind of stuff. It wasn't that the machine quit running. That's one good thing about having been a crew chief on a race car, is that even if I'm too old to fix it now, I can still usually tell you what's wrong, and I can tell when somebody's trying to pull a fast one on me. Oh, I have caught so many mechanics trying to pull BS on me over the years. Good morning, Will's treasures. We're going to wait just a couple more minutes, and then I've got a couple of articles I'm going to read, and then I'm going to get out of here because I have to go to Roanoke, Virginia to go to the doctor. A whopping, I'm going to say it's around 300 miles round trip. I'm not exactly sure of that, but it's a ways. And fortunately, I'm not driving it. Okay, it's 93 miles each way to the edge of Roanoke, but I have to go the other side of Roanoke. So we're going to say that this is going to be around a 200-mile doctor's visit. So, and that's the normal here. There just is because there's not a big enough population, uh, specialists do not come here. It's not where they're going to, because there's not a big enough population, and set up business, because there's no money in it for them. You know, they can't push enough pills. So it's, yeah, that's just what. And when you have chronic conditions like I do, where suddenly at the drop of a hat, you may need a specialist, you could die before you get to one. And when I moved here, my sister, I asked her, and she said, "Oh yeah, you got access to every doctor you'll need." But no, I don't. That's with her insurance. My insurance, see, my sister, she doesn't have Virginia Medicaid or any of that, so she can go across the line into North Carolina, 25 miles away, to a specialist. Yeah, I'm working on getting my butt back to University of Michigan. They're the third best hospital in the United States. They have worked with me before. I've been in some of their clinical trials. I've been in some of their studies. Truthfully, I'd have been in a wheelchair back in 2014 if it were not for U of M. So I'm going back where, number one, I know I have people who will help me. Number two, where I know that what happened to me the other day is never going to happen again. And I posted this little article here in my little burg that I live in. Friday, I had to take an ambulance to the hospital. I was having some serious issues, and they kept me until about 4 o'clock. I got to about 10:30. Kept me till about 4 o'clock. About 3 o'clock, 3:30, they came in, gave me a big old shot of morphine, and a few minutes later, they came in with my discharge papers, and I looked at them and I said, "How am I getting home?" Because I came in an ambulance. And they said, "Oh, well, we don't have any transport home. You'll have to call somebody to come get you." I said, "I don't have anybody to come get me." Because at the time, my sister wasn't available, my niece wasn't available, and those are the only two people I knew. Well, I tried to call the lady that lives upstairs, and she didn't answer. So I said, "Well, what do you mean you don't have any transportation?" Any hospital I have ever been in my entire life, if you came in an ambulance and you had no ride home, they would put you in a little van or a cab or something and make sure you got home. Well, this one was like, "No, we don't do that." And I said, "Well, is there a taxi?" "No, we don't have a taxi company." "Do we have an Uber company?" "No, we don't have Uber." We have a bus, but it quits running at 3 o'clock. Well, by this time it's 4 o'clock. So I'm stuck in the hospital, shot up with morphine, and they're telling me I got to walk home. Excuse me? You didn't even diagnose what was wrong with me. I still got the same pain that I came in with, except that you've got it all doped up now. And you want me to walk home? So finally, this couple that was in there, this lady told her husband to go drive me home. Well, when I posted this in our little local area Facebook page, they deleted it. They don't want people to know that their hospital puts patients out on the street like that. Nobody should ever, ever put a patient who is doped up on morphine out on the street and tell them to walk home, especially a 68-year-old lady who's already sick. But what does the town I live in do? They delete that because they don't want you to know that's how they operate. So there's another reason to get out of here. James Eller, where are you in Michigan? Because that could well be arranged. I am hoping that when I get to Michigan that I do get to meet some of my fellow collectors and detectors. Oh, you're not that far, because I'm going to be mostly in Ann Arbor. I do try to avoid Detroit, but that's, but yeah, when I lived in Michigan, I lived in a little town called Flushing, which is right outside the lovely Flint. And I'll tell you what, I am so happy right now at the idea of going back to Michigan that I would move right dead center in the middle of Flint just to be back in Michigan. So I'm sorry, I have lost my picture of Suzy Smart. I just don't know where my girl is today. She is hiding. I cannot find her anywhere. So we are just is, but it's not her. I can't find her. Doggone it. What, living in Flint is putting your life in jeopardy? I lived in Flushing, which butts right up against Flint. And there are parts of Flint that are nice, and there are other parts of Flint. No. I used to ride the bus to my doctor's office that was in downtown Flint rather than take my car down there because I was always afraid I'd come out and my tires would be gone. I kid you not. I would ride the bus rather than take my car down there. But I actually didn't live inside Flint. I lived when I first moved there, I lived in Clio. And then I bought a little place over in Flushing, which I would still be there, except that it flooded. And so couldn't, it was going to cost more to save it than it was worth. So that ended that. But that's one of the reasons for this purpose. I'm getting a motorhome because if things don't work for me, I will have a way to get back to wherever I feel I need to be. And I've lived in a motorhome before. Everybody's telling me, "Oh, you don't know. It's going to be horrible. You know, a motorhome in the winter." I lived in a motorhome in the winter in Clio, out on a farm. I have no problem. I know how to do it. I'm a big girl, and I have friends who will help me. Okay, I'm going to read a couple of little articles here, and then we're going to dismiss class early today. This first one is from the Lancaster Intelligencer from the 27th of June, 1834. And I found this to be quite humorous because this guy was delusional. In my opinion, this guy was delusional. And I think some of you may also think he was a little delusional. Having a little frog thing happening this morning too, so bear with me. Well, okay, come on, Suzy, clear it out. Okay, the article is called "Doctors Disagree." The editor of the Miltonian says it is last. The Bank of the United States is the staff and stay of the weary traveler, his sure passport from Maine to Louisiana, the safe deposit in the chest of the farmer, the real friend that carries its pretensions on its face. Sunshine and smiles are its attendants. Webster, we suppose, is personified by sunshine and Clay by smiles. We need not mention any more of its attendants. They are all sycophants and smilers upon and worshippers, not of the Siamese elephant, but of the Philadelphia elephant. Okay, guys, hang on. I'm going to have to get a glass of water. This is not working out here. Just bear with me. Usually I have one over here, but I didn't. Let's try this again. Okay. Hear the Trenton Emporium on the other side, and let the farmer judge which is the safe deposit in his chest, the paper promise or the solid gold. Now, this is a guy I think was a little over optimistic. Gold and silver is the poor man's currency. It knows no panics, no counterfeits or discounts. The man who has a dollar or an eagle knows what he has and what he can get for it, and what it will be worth in 12 months or so, should he choose to hoard it. Now, if a farmer receives a banknote, why, he is in tribulation until it is out of his hands, lest the bank should fail and leave him possessed of a worthless shin plaster. Let Congress give us a law equalizing the true value of the precious metals as fixed abroad, so that the products of the rich mines in Georgia and the Carolinas, having received the impress of the Liberty Cap at the Mint, may remain with us as a national currency and not sent to foreigners as merchandise. We ask no other national bank than the rich mines Providence has blessed our country with. We ask no better currency than gold and silver, and the basis of every sound currency. Give us the hard dollars and eagles, and let those who love panic and discounts stand out for rag money. Now, there's some interesting points in there. I kind of agree with obviously he was shooting for the gold and silver standard, and that was obviously much safer than the paper money. So I agree with him on that part. But I had to disagree with his statement that gold and silver knows no panics, counterfeits, or discounts. And I also had to disagree with the part where he says that a man who has an eagle knows what he has and knows what it will be worth in 12 months or two. So he was partly right, in my opinion, and partly wrong. I don't know what you guys think about that, but I personally know people that have gotten counterfeit silver and counterfeit gold. So in that particular instance, I think he was way out of the ballpark. But he was partially right on the gold and silver standard. Unfortunately, we didn't stick to it and went right back to that Federal Reserve note doodah and got a bunch of counterfeit paper again. Are any of you here, or can you not hear me? Because I feel like I'm talking to the wall. Which this morning I could be and wouldn't know the difference. Because I'm not reading it again. I can't. I'm out of breath. Oh, okay. At least I know somebody's there. Goodness. So then I got my one more to read, which is the next section of the all the different counterfeit currencies that were being passed around in the, I think it was 1840s. Let me get with our next section is Tennessee. Ooh, there's a bunch of them too. I was hoping it would be a short one. Oh no, Tennessee is a short one. Yay. It's Ohio that went crazy. Oh, goodness. Let me get my clipping here. Oh, come on now. Y'all stop that. This is why I should not do my show in the morning. But morning is when I have this regimen of having to take a lot of medicine. Now, this morning, I do not have it. I don't get my meds. So, in about 2 or 3 hours, I'm going to be screaming. But they cannot look at what's wrong if I've got it all doped up. So, here we go with April 1947. This is part of a long list of counterfeits from different states, starting with Tennessee today. Farmers and Mechanics Bank of Memphis. The fives, a good imitation but badly filled up. 100s altered from fives, easily detected. Bank of Tennessee in Nashville. 10s, letter A, dated 23rd June, payable 12 months after date, poorly executed. 10s, letter A, dated April 9th, 1839, Harry Ewing, cashier, written EUWING. There's a clue that's a fake. M. Nichols, president. 50s altered from 10s. In the altered note, the coat of arms of the state is on the right center. Branches have also been altered. Union Bank of Nashville. 100s altered from fives. The genuine 100s have the full-length figure of justice at each end. The fives have eagles at the ends. Planters Bank of Tennessee in Nashville. 100s, letter A, pay A. Crawford, March 4th, 1844. The shading of the words Planters Bank of Tennessee, very badly executed. Engravings darker than the genuine. Vignette of railroad cars, steamboats, etc. Rowden, Wright, Hatch, and Edson, New Orleans engravers. So that's all they had listed for Tennessee in this issue. I'm not going to do the next one, which is Ohio, because it is absolutely huge, and I don't have the energy today to read that one. But we did get a couple more in. They still have a long list of Ohio. Then there's one out of Ohio I'm going to read, and I'll read it again when I read Ohio. But this is an interesting one. Notes of the Bank of Michigan altered to post notes on the Bank of Xenia. The words Michigan and Detroit have been taken out, and Ohio and Xenia it's inserted. Date 1841, but the names of the officials signed are those from 1826. So that was actually under the Ohio one, but I threw that in because I know there's a Michigander hanging around in here. Couple of us. So then after Ohio, there's a big Louisiana list. And I don't know if this is a feature that was in the paper every week or what. So I will have to follow up and see if there's future listings like this. I find it interesting to see how the minds of these people work to change a bill and actually be able to pass it along. Yeah, pretty impressive, huh? The fakers list. Yep, I do the fakers list. It's just, to me, how they manage to passing stuff off. Oh yeah, the Ohio list is massive. There's some real characters. Came up with some real creative stuff there. Okay, now just for a minute, I'm going to talk about the fundraisers that happened over the weekend to help me get out of here and get to where I need for health. First, I want to thank Suzy, who made an attempt over at Pa's Spare Time to get something going, and I thank Suzy and Pa and whoever the other person was who made donations over there. That one raised about $150, which I was amazed. I was thrilled. Then Sunday, the coin crew outdid themselves. I still do not have a full total on that, but that one was put together by my buddy JJ, John Jacobs, and he and the coin crew outdid themselves. The coin crew was donating part of every one of their auction items. And then JJ had rounded up from an assortment of people all sorts of items for which every penny came to me. Now, we don't have a total yet, but I can tell you that just the items that were gathered up by JJ, and there was stuff in there from all kinds of people. There was something from Big Flip, Handy Andy, JJ. There was just a whole bunch of stuff in that stack, and just in that packet, over $800 was made, and that is not counting any of the money that was put in from the percentage of the coin crew. I heard a figure. I'm not 100% sure it is correct, but somewhere between $1,200 and $1,500 was raised. As far as I know, they were going to recount because they said they thought they may have not written something down. So those folks over there outdid themselves. I was crying like a baby. That puts us so much closer, because the figure that's in the GoFundMe is only one source, and I think there's $350 there, and then there's the money that was originally put away that came from Muscle Shell that I was supposed to use to go see my brother. So we don't have a final total yet, but I can tell you it was amazing. And I am a member of the Coin Cruise channel, but they are not like one of my main channels, and that's what made it so endearing to my heart is the channels that I would have expected to jump in and help. I did not see. Two channels that I participate in, but not on a super regular basis, both jumped in and said, hey, wait a minute, this lady needs help. So to both of those channels, Pause Spare Time and Coin Crew, I cannot thank you enough. It's, they were kind of goofing around a little bit, and I said, hey, you know what? I said, you guys just may have saved my life. And it's the truth. Yeah, that Coin Crew auction, that was absolutely awesome. As tired and sick as I was, I watched pretty much the whole thing from bed on my laptop, and managed to stay awake for most of it, which was pretty amazing because it started at 1, and I think it was after 10 o'clock when it ended. People just kept adding things and adding things to it, and it was just the best. And I don't know how to. That's what it's about right there, Charles. That's what it's about. That's the Coin Crew we strive to promote. And I was lying there and I was thinking, sometimes people don't like me because I don't participate in some of the things, the activities, but they don't understand that I physically can't. They just think I'm lazy or I don't care. And like, for me to sit at the computer and make videos, I don't even make my detecting videos anymore. I got enough footage to make about 12, but it's hard for me to sit here and do it because my eyes don't always work. And I don't always do the make a shout out videos. And the reason that I don't do those is I did a whole bunch of them for people who promised to do them for me, and then I never saw one. Now you better believe these two channels here are getting a shout out video as soon as I'm strong enough to make one. But do I donate to causes? When I can, I do. When I can't, I can't. I donated to the cancer quilt thing. I donated to fix somebody's dog. I mean, I'm not the bad guy. But yeah, exactly. They don't want to get in my shoes and take a walk because it's not comfortable. Another thing that I noticed was my so-called group of friends from Florida and Georgia who are my metal detecting people, nowhere to be seen. They have abandoned me because I'm always talking about being sick. I don't get on and I'm not doing Carol Burnett or whatever. And they said, oh, your show used to be funny, but it's not funny anymore. Well, hey, being the sick isn't funny anymore either, dude. Wait till it happens to you. One of these days, see, all these people are younger than me. They haven't got there yet. So to see the group of people that showed up yesterday, I was just overwhelmed. Uh, and what did do me some good was to see some of my Michigan people I have never met that we have just begun talking over the channels over the last year, who are from Michigan, to see them show up in force. That, yeah, that did my heart good because uh, I'm going back to Michigan for a reason, and one of it is that uh, Michigan's a funny place. If you make friends in Michigan, you pretty much made a friend for life, unless you almost would have to shoot them for them to not be your friend anymore. Uh, but anyway, I have got to get myself tidied up and get ready for my niece to come get me and take me to the neurologist. And I can already tell that I have not had my meds. Uh, it's my face starts going completely numb, and I start having a lot of nerve issues in my face and my legs, and it seems to always start in my face. So it kind of sucks because I can't take my meds today. And I understand because they need to see what is going on with my nervous system without it being sedated or, you know, locked down in any way. They got to see just what is happening. Uh, Hopefully, they'll have some answers, but because it's now spreading through my body, even if it does not, if they do not have answers, I mean, even if they do have answers, um, we're still going to have to go and find out why. Kitty, I put a kitty under there. So, guys, well, I'm glad somebody enjoys the information that I read. I think that there's a lot of people that they just collect, they just stack coins and they don't even really know why. Or they collect coins, but they don't know anything about the coins they have. And I like to know what I got. I mean, I could accidentally give away a fake, or, yeah, I had a fake that was passed to me, a fake Benji. And I had no way of knowing it was fake. I figured it out, but you gotta know what you got. And to me, you need to know the history of what you've got. So that's why I do these funny little things every morning. And maybe eventually some people will take an interest in it. Sadly, I think part of the coin collection community is more involved in the party aspect of it than the actual knowledge aspect of it. But I'm going to keep doing it anyway because I like it. Eventually, maybe others will like it too. All right, guys, I got to go. It's it's choking up time, so Let me go get tidied up and see what the doctors have to say. And oh, excuse me, when I get home, hopefully we will have a total on what happened. Now, I happen to know that the coin crew does not work on Monday. That's their day off for family. So it'll probably be tomorrow before we have any kind of total. But I can tell you one thing, those people went way, way out of their way to help me. So we shall see what happens then. Then I'll also come back and let you know what the doctors have to say, if anything. Bear in mind, I have had 10 doctors look at this. 8 of them have given me completely wrong diagnoses, and I've got a dresser drawer full of drugs in there that did absolutely nothing. The last doctor I saw the other day, the jury is still out on whether he was correct or not. I don't think he was, but I think he was more on base than the rest of them. So, all right, guys, I'll see you later. Thanks for being here.